Welcome to Turmeric and Tequila with your host, Kristen Olson. Questioning a better way, one gracefully disruptive conversation at a time.
Welcome to Turmeric and Tequila. This is another solo cast, just you and I. I'm excited about this one because I'm going to do these little mini casts of like check-in points, primarily stuff that is probably coming up in my own world and then I'm just going to cast about it. But recently did the why, and I've got a good cast coming out tomorrow with Jen K around core values. So deep in the mode of, questioning that better way, or really, again, further getting to know myself and what does and doesn't resonate. And things that have come up a lot, when you reflect, usually you're like, man, I knew that from the get-go. Why did I have to learn that several times? Or why did I have to go through it in different situations? And I really learned, or am learning, that there is such an art to looking the other direction. When we as humans don't want to see something, I really believe we truly don't. And as you get to a point in your life when you start to reflect on things and you're like, should have trusted my gut on that one. I knew day one with the meeting with that person that probably wasn't a good thing to go into business with them, or I knew right from the beginning the relationship wasn't going to work, never should have gone out with them. And then on the reverse, reflecting like, I should have given something a chance, or I should have done something, and really lean into like what my gut was telling me. Today it's the new year, and I think a lot of people are resolutioners and are thinking about 2020 and what we want to do. And I'm down with the resolution. I think I try and keep in mind all year, but I think January is a good start point if you want to do something new. So on that note, I think it's important to reflect on past experiences, things we can learn on, and then really check in. And something for me, again, that's really been coming up is that art of looking the other way. How many times in life did I know something wasn't really necessarily the right decision, but I looked the other way? Or if I got into situations, whether it was personally or professionally, and I knew something was going on and it didn't really resonate with me, but I kind of just looked the other way. It's happened probably more, I think, like in my training world and like personal world, and maybe people see this a lot in their work, but my work is kind of solo until I'm working with the contract. But I think it's more of like when you're in situations, and it can be really hard, where something around you, it's not necessarily your business, but it impacts you indirectly. Like an example, a friend is cheating on their boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse, and you know it. It has nothing to do with you, but you're friends with that other person. So at what point is the line when you say something or you back out of it because it's really not your business, and that person never wins? But what point do you say something, or do you check yourself out of that situation? Because I believe and I know that when something internally eats you and it really is like out of alignment with who you are, what you believe, it starts to make you sick and or impact your body, whether it's your liver or your gut or your just stress, and you get headaches. I think that manifests and shows up in your body and in your health. So I encourage everyone to check in and think about like past personal relationships, business situations, where maybe it's something big and you couldn't look the other way. Maybe something in business, maybe you saw sexual harassment, or maybe somebody stole Cheetos out of the vending machine. I think the levels obviously of severity can range, but in thinking about those situations, and you're like, that really bothered me for a while, or I thought about it and I wish I would have said something, or I wish I would have did something. And then on the positive side, someone did something really great and you didn't say anything, or any of those points where you're like, I just looked the other direction because it was easier, or it was too painful, or I was jealous, or I was tired, or whatever the excuse might be. Getting into those situations where you wish you would have did something different. And I think having that awareness, number one, I think helps you for future decisions and, streamlining process. You don't have to go through a learning process again, or you just do the right thing from the get-go. You learn to listen to your gut and your instincts, because all the answers are within. And I think that really streamlines us to, alignment and like our happy place, and, getting ultimately to where where we want to be and do what we want to be doing is keeping that truth in our lives. And, sometimes if that's letting go of jobs or letting go of people in our lives, or friends or significant others or what have you, I really do think we kind of know the writing on the wall early on, and then we just choose to look the other way. And this, again, in a multitude of situations, sometimes it's a defense mechanism. Like if somebody close to you has addiction, and you don't really know what to do or how to say anything. And some of these things are really heavy, hard conversations. And I would encourage anyone that is seeking those truths or looking to expose those truths, for lack of a better phrase, to maybe seek some professional guidance, because I do think with some of the heavier combos, you need some professional guidance. And then some of the lighter ones, I really encourage people to use their voice, and something obviously I'm focusing on. If going back to core values, honesty and transparency is like my number one, and it's not always just telling the truth. I know most people are that way. It's having transparency in my world, and if something feels wrong or like there's a secret, even if it's not about me, it doesn't align with me well. And this has shown up in a multitude of actually not so many business situations, more like fitness and training. I mean, if you know somebody that takes drugs when you're training, that's not your truth, but that still bothers you because it impacts your success on the field and how you train and whatnot. So there's all these things in our world that have nothing to do with us but still impact us. So this is that checkpoint. I encourage you to kind of review what's in your world and what's probably impacting more than you think, and to find that truth, seek that truth, even if it's hard, seek it the right way. I don't have super good answers for you. I just think if you're intentional in finding that truth, and you're intentional in exposing it, bringing it to light in the right way, I do think the right thing will come out of it. And you never know, it really could not only make you more in alignment and happier with that situation, it might make it better for somebody else, and you might not be the only one that feels that way. So I really encourage everyone to use your voice in the right way, in the right capacity, with the right intention, and take care of yourself in it. I think you can only look the other way so long in things until all things come to a head. And then on the positive side, if you have a gut to, go after a job, or maybe leave a job and go for one, or ask a person out, or, really congratulate somebody that seems unrecognized in work or whatever, to use your voice there, because I think the smallest of compliments and the smallest of nudges can be huge in people's world. I know all the feedback I've gotten around the cast and some of the other things has been really awesome, particularly from my fitness and work peers and family members. The people that are closest to you, always their opinion usually matters the most. So I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So spreading a little joy and seeking a little truth, I think, goes a long way this time of year, and I encourage everyone to do that. We got a Christmas tree in the background. Happy holidays. Check in with yourself. Find that truth. Use your voice.
Thank you for joining Turmeric and Tequila with your host, Kristen Olson. Tune in next time, and don't forget to subscribe on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.